Very interesting. So how would you language it, knowing what you know now, where you probably do an excess of that? What would you do differently? How would you verbalize it differently for people who want to start and go, well, shoot, that worked for him. Maybe I could start my own declarations. What's a more powerful way to word it, to program your subconscious?
To me now, coming from a place of who we are created to be, for example, I am love, right? That's a much greater declaration because we are created in the image and likeness of God. We are created in love by our parents, right? So that's coming from a place of something that I have within me that's in the makeup of my DNA. Coming from a place of something that I don't have is speaking to the lack of the situation that I'm in.
Gotcha, yeah.
Right? So it kind of repels it from you.
Gotcha. So how would you restate that from a frame of reference of, say, somebody wants to acquire? Obviously, there's many things you might want to acquire or become or exude from what's already within. But say someone wants to produce $1 million a month, how would they language it in such a manner?
I don't know that you would language it.
Gotcha.
Like I
okay.
am, you know, I don't know that you would language it that way. But I would language it in the way in who you have to be in order to be someone who makes and produces $1 million a month.
So I don't want $1 million a month. I want to become the person that can automate $1 million a month, for example.
Right. So think about it from the perspective of who do I need to be, right? I'm a leader, right? I am a world-class coach. I'm a world-class businessman or whatever, right?
Gotcha.
So what is the way of being that I have to embody?
Yeah, what do I have to cultivate in the present? Yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Rather than what do I
see myself or it in the future or far away from the now. Yes.
Right.
Makes sense. Okay. So you start programming your subconscious mind. And then I know you had a foray into real estate, right? Because at one point you thought real estate investing was it.
Yeah, so I'd seen a lot of people and at that time, there was all types of marketing and the event space was all focused on getting wealthy. I mean, Rich Dad was at its peak.
Yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah.
Right? I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad through network marketing, actually. And I had realized that real estate was a great vehicle to create wealth. And then I was at an event, and I remember being at this event, and I remember learning about commercial real estate investing and how you don't need any of your own money, you don't need any of your own credit. I'm like, well, shoot, that sounds great. Because I didn't have either one at the time.
Yeah.
Had no credit, had no money. I'm like, this sounds great.
And how old were you at this time?
And I was in my early 20s.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was in my early 20s. And I was like, this sounds way better. And it's much larger cash flow. Like, you know, if you buy a strip mall or you buy even a 24-unit complex. Like the guy I learned from, you know, his first deal was a 24-unit complex.
Wow.
And he talks about how he was able to owner finance it. So he was able to get into it with no money down.
Wow.
And that was amazing. I love that story. And I remember putting down $5,000 on a credit card to attend his event. I knew it was the scariest thing I ever invested. At that time, $5,000.
Yeah.
Investing on a credit card.
Yeah.
Money I didn't have.
Yeah.
That was the biggest investment I'd made in my entire life outside of school.
That was more than your net worth at the time.
Yeah. And it was. I remember driving to the airport just to fly out of Lynchburg, and I was like shaking. I was like, I felt like I was going to throw up. I was like, maybe I should just turn around.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just get a refund.
Yeah.
And all these things were going through my head. And
is this actually going to work? Is it a scam?
All that stuff, yeah. And the thought was, you know what? I got to do it anyways. I got to just take a step of faith. And that's what I did. I got down there. I ended up learning some amazing things. It was a great boot camp. It was workshop style boot camp learning, and it was great. And from there, I brought it back to Lynchburg, and we had actually started the first men's fraternity at Liberty, but it was a Christian brother. We couldn't call it a fraternity. It was called a brotherhood. And so a couple of my guys.
There's the marketing in play, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Can't name it a fraternity.
There's good copywriting right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I recruited a couple of my guys to start hunting for deals. So I taught them how to hunt for deals because I didn't have time to hunt for deals and go and do everything, every part of the deal.
Right.
And I remember, we were hunting, we were scouring properties all over the country. And I remember going to a big real estate convention out in Vegas, 50,000 people. And it was real estate, commercial real estate investors. It was massive. Some of these booths were just, they're $1 million booths just for the booth space.
Wow.
It was cool. It was really eye-opening. But I met a guy who I'd contacted by looking for properties, and he had a portfolio of properties that were in commercial real estate, if you're looking to get into properties that are underperforming, you're usually looking for properties you can improve the performance of. You're looking for properties that are like 70%, 80% performing at,
Right.
at their levels of performance, right? That way you can come in, you can do some stuff to it to increase the performance.
Yeah.
If you increase performance by 10%, you can make a lot of money that way.
Profitable, yeah.
Yeah. So I sat down with this guy, and I went into this guy's booth, and he had a very modest booth, but he was decked out. The guy was like in his 80s. And I remember sitting down with this guy, and he's like, man, he's gentle, kind, and but you could tell very wise, right? And he looked like $1 million. And so he said, why do you want to get into commercial real estate? And well, I'm like, well, I want to create wealth through commercial real estate. And he said, but why now? Now is the worst time to get into commercial real estate. The economy's about to tank. He goes, I've been doing this for however many years he's been doing it for. He's been doing it for a long time. He said, I've done over $1 trillion worth of real estate. He had done deals with Donald Trump, and he had done deals with all types of people.
Yeah, wow, $1 trillion.
Trillion. I mean, the guy's done $1 trillion in transactions.
Wow.
It's a lot of real estate.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And he goes, yeah, you should go work for a company and learn on their dime. I'm like, but I don't want a job, right? So that like completely changed my outlook on commercial real estate investing, and I wasn't looking for a job. I was looking for an investment vehicle. That make sense?
Yeah, yeah. You're looking for a cash flow vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for a cash flow vehicle to hit my income goal of $1 million a month, right?
So did you always? I want to ask you about that because you bring it up. Was that always something at the forefront of your mind? Was that something you were always writing down? $1 million a month, $1 million a month, $1 million.
You know, at Liberty, I was blessed to have Jerry Falwell, Sr., who started Liberty University and grew it to be one of the largest Christian universities in the world. And 3 times a week, I got the privilege of hearing him speak.
Wow.
During what's called convocation. And one of the things he always said was, number one, he said, my vision is to have the #1 largest Christian university in the world, playing at the Division I level, producing athletes that go pro, and he wanted to have 50,000 kids attend Liberty University on an annual basis. And he was fortunate, before he passed, to actually have that happen.
All of them.
All of those goals had happened.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So
that was cool.
you saw it as it was manifesting.
Yeah, but
beautiful.
he's like, oh, you got to have a big, hairy, audacious goal, and he helped me. Really, another one of my mentors, and indirectly, like I didn't pay him to mentor me, right?
Right.
But indirectly, by being at Liberty, I was able to catch what he was laying down, and he thought so big, right? So for me, it was like, I'd seen my dad run multi-million-dollar operation. So for me, that was like,
it wasn't a foreign
that was a
thing.
ceiling.
Yeah,
right? Like that $1 million, like a couple $1 million a year was like, that was common to me because my dad had done it.
Yeah, yeah. So it
Right.
wasn't sexy. 2 or 3 million wasn't sexy.
Right. Like I wanted the next level. I was like, well, what's the next level? It's
Yeah.
like, well, $1 million a month would be nice.
Not a bad place to start, yeah.
Right. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. And if you love this video, be sure to leave a comment. Tell me your top 3 takeaways or top takeaway from today's video. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you can get notified every time that we upload a new video here on YouTube. And before you go, make sure you grab your free golden ticket. This free golden ticket is loaded with our 7-figure and our 8-figure expert agency and e-commerce funnels, emails, and scripts that we've used to build multi-million-dollar businesses in a variety of different markets. So thank you again for watching this video. Hope you got massive value from it, and I look forward to hearing what your takeaway was from this video. And also, I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming videos that we will be releasing.